feels like nothing matters. I start going numb, and that scares me. I don't know if it's my gut or just plain fear.
Fear does not have to be your enemy, Renee. Fear can be your friend. Telling you that perhaps you are not ready.
Stop. He's talking her out of it. Why? Something's off here. I need an angle on the doctor. That's not a therapist. That's Q. He's using Renee to change the future.
Welcome, everyone, to Deep Space Pride, a gay Star Trek podcast. I am Johnson, one of your hosts of this podcast, and with me is Mike Thurlow, my co-host. Mike, how are you this Monday?
It's early for us, isn't it? It's late in the day, but it's early in the week for us. But I'm doing good.
It is late in the day, but here we are. Yes.
Technically tomorrow's going to be our hump day, and then Wednesday is our Friday. So, yeah. Yes.
Well, your day was particularly hectic, no?
Yeah, meetings and rushing Hamish to the doggy daycare, and then running to work and printing a bunch of stuff. Yeah, it was just a lot.
Yeah,
it was a lot.
Yeah,
and dealing with people who are struggling with change. Very simple change, but nonetheless change.
Yes.
And
change is hard.
Change is hard. Yes, I will. Yes, I will give you that.
Yeah,
but
it takes time to get used to.
Yeah, exactly. How was your Monday?
It was really hectic. I survived, but there were multiple threats of stabbing. It was okay. It was just, I think there was just a lot happening, and I also just needed to kind of get things out of the way before going on vacation. So given that Wednesday is Friday, it's just a lot. It was just a lot to do, a lot to deal with, but it's fine. We're here. We're alive, breathing.
Yeah, we are breathing. Yes.
Looking forward to
Was there
Chicago.
a question? Yes. Chicago.
Yes.
I'm just looking forward to I'm not looking forward to packing, but I am looking forward to going to the airport and getting on a plane and going somewhere.
I mean, I don't really love getting the whole process of going to the airport and getting on a plane. That's such a process. But
it is a process.
Yes.
It's fun.
Yes.
Excitement builds. I am learning to be more calm and enjoy the process. Because before, when I used to travel, I would be super anxious and just, a little, not crazy, but just feeling nervous until I was seated in my seat in either a train or a plane. Now I'm just we'll get there, considering that I was literally, when I was coming back from New Orleans with 15 kids.
I mean, that's a little... Because it's not.
We were late. We were late, and we were running to the gate.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding. We were running.
That's
to
different.
The gate.
That's not the same.
But you know what? I didn't even. Yeah, I didn't even. Yes, I was not even stressed that much about it. I was more stressed getting the van there, and then the rest is you have to wait in this line. We have to check our luggage. We have to wait in the security line. There's nothing you can do about any of that, but it was the whole driving to the airport, which was we were late for. So, but
Yeah.
and then I took the wrong exit. So yeah, but
Wow.
it was all fine. Made the airplane. It was fine.
Yeah, you made the plane. You made your flight.
We made the plane, and that was fine. And we'll make this plane, and it'll all be fine. It was just you and me. So
It's supposed to rain on Thursday. Hopefully everything's fine.
Well, it's gonna be cold in Chicago this weekend too.
I know it's gonna be cold too. Yeah, 94% chance of rain on Thursday.
Ugh.
So that's unfortunate. Yeah. Then it's gonna be gross.
Yes.
Ooh, Thursday night thunderstorms. But we should
in Chicago or here?
Here.
Oh, okay. Well, we won't be here for all of that. We'll be in Chicago.
Right. Chicago is going to be. You're right. It's going to be cold and it's going to be rainy. Thursday,
no
Friday.
Way. Oh, exciting. Yeah. Thursday, Friday. Oh, great. Well, it is what it is. Friday we'll be at the convention anyway.
Well, we're going to be inside. It's going to be like Vegas. We barely left the convention center and the hotel. Literally, we just went between our room and the convention hall.
True. We did venture out for major meals.
Yes, but it was so hot.
Yeah, but yeah, it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't crazy though. It wasn't like super busy. Like we were never stuck in traffic really, or
no.
It was never like for it being summer in Las Vegas. I didn't think it was that crazy. Never felt like we were late anywhere. So yeah, I think we'll be fine at Chicago. I've not even looked at the schedule, but I will tell you that I am super excited to see Will Wheaton, and I am.
He's going to be doing his own panel. Is that right?
Yes, Friday morning. So, and then
that's something.
And then probably they're going to do something. I haven't looked at the schedule, so I have no idea. But Sonequa is only going to be there on Friday.
Right.
So they'll probably do something with her on Friday. And then I think Strange New Worlds is on Saturday, which is also what I'm excited about. And I'm excited about seeing the rest of the Trek Geeks Network people. That's going to be fun. Yeah. Seeing them in person. Meeting our executive producers, Bill and Dan, for the first time in person.
That's crazy. That it's the first time we're going to see them in person.
I know, right? Yeah. Looking forward to that. And I think it being our second Trek convention, I'll feel a little less nervous, I guess. I don't know. I'll feel less nervous. Not nervous. Maybe a little less shy. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh,
being an introvert, it's it is what it is. But
well, you can also be me and just don't give a shit. So,
well, I'm not like you, so that's why I know. This is why
I know because everyone will give a shit. I mean, it'll be nice to see people, but at the same time, I can take it or leave it.
And that's just who you are. And,
no, that's who I am. I mean, I'm perfectly fine with everyone else in the Trek Geeks Network, but it's not like we're friends. So whatever. There's acquaintances,
Yeah.
So take it or leave it. Honestly, most of it's going to be small talk. We're not going to become besties overnight or in the course of 3 days. And I'm totally fine with that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. And to seeing them, and Strange New Worlds. I have no idea what's on Sunday. I think it'd be cool to see the Lower Decks cast. That would be cool.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to the main show panels, and I'm looking forward to not working. So
that's right. That's the other thing too. Yeah, not working. But it's gonna. I'm looking forward to.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
I said that one thing that I think both you and I felt was lacking in Vegas that I hope we'll get at Chicago is they're more like just announcements or teases or surprise, whatever, because usually at big cons, that's usually what happens. There'll be some sort of something, but because Vegas wasn't official, they didn't really have any sort of that kind of content from Paramount /CBS/Viacom. But hopefully at Chicago, because it is officially sanctioned, there'll be some of that. So
Yes.
other than the panels, I'm hoping that we get some of the surprise and delights that we should be getting as fans.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely. Yeah. Which is why because, I feel like we'll get something from, I'm betting that Mike McMahon will have something for us for Lower Decks, even if it's just,
Mm-hmm.
some animatic, what is it? Animatics?
Animatronics.
Animatronics. There we go. Or something. But I also love the cast and, Tawny Newsome and Jack Quaid, Jerry O'Connell. They're just cool people, and I think they'll be fun and entertaining. So,
Sure.
in season, they've already, I imagine they've recorded all their voices for season 3 by this point. Maybe even working on,
so. I would think so.
maybe even working on season 4, so, I don't know that we'll get anything from Prodigy, although maybe we'll get something from Prodigy.
Maybe. I mean, I would think that they have a bunch of content already developed because they probably have episode 11 done, like 11, 12 done at this point. So if anything, maybe we'll get a sneak peek. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that would be nice. But I'm most excited to see the Strange New Worlds cast, and I am really, really hopeful that we'll get at least a tease of episode 1. That would be awesome. Maybe
you were hoping for the opening credits or something like that.
Yeah, well, a little bit of like opening scene, maybe the pre-credits roll and then the opening credits.
Yeah,
that would be cool to see.
That'd be cool. But I was surprised that they released the season 1 trailer this past yesterday.
Yes.
I think we all thought that they were going to save that for
hold it off
for the convention.
Yeah, I thought so too. But they're really building up anticipation for the show, and the trailer definitely does that.
I loved the trailer. Okay, that's just a good segue to the trailer.
Yeah. Let's talk about the trailer.
Well, I already said it. So I loved the trailer. I love that one shot where it's towards the beginning where he pipe beams down to the planet, and then you see that shot of the saucer section in the clouds above the planet. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Oh no, the whole ship was up there.
The whole ship, but then they have there's a top down shot of the
saucer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great shot. I love that. And there were just a lot of good ship shots actually, and a lot of starship action.
Did you see? A lot of action. Did you see how? I don't know why I find this cool, but when the ship comes out of warp and the impulse engines go on, they lit up.
I saw that. Yes,
I was like, oh my god, wow.
Yeah, like it comes out of warp and the impulse engines light up. I was like, what?
It was so cool.
Oh my god, I can't believe we both noticed that. That's what I was gonna bring it up, but I did notice it.
Nope. Every time I've watched that trailer 3 or 4 times now, and every time I'm like, look at that, that's so cool. Definitely nerding out on the Enterprise. The sick bay looks enormous.
It's huge. It's massive. There's so much space. It's like the new engine room. It's so big. It's really wide. Like it's very, there's a lot of walking space between the
there is. I really hope. I love.
I mean, there's no reason for it to be that large, especially.
I know. There's nothing.
It should be more economical. Like, there's no reason for it to be that big.
Yeah, there isn't. So I'm hoping that this ship design is not like Discovery, where it's just like an endless TARDIS inside. Like I would really love to see an updated like Mr. Scott's or Mr. Hemmer's guide to the Enterprise. Like,
I mean, as long as I don't see any like crazy turbo lift shafts, I can't.
Yeah, no. Oh, wait. What did we see in Q&A though? What did we see? Did we see a lot of space? And I don't know. I have to go back and watch Q&A.
In Q&A, when they're stuck in the turbo lift?
The turbo lift. Remember, they pop out the top. Someone eventually comes and helps them. I don't remember what the interior of the turbo lift shaft looked like.
Oh,
But I'm hoping it's not Discovery Lake. I'm hoping that we get to like have a real like Enterprise technical manual again. I would love that, but yeah. I mean, these big open.
Not like a city inside. You mean?
Yes, not a city
Ridiculous.
inside.
I can't. It's so bad.
Yes, Discovery. Oh gosh.
Mind-blowing.
But what else did we see? Oh man, there's so much in this trailer. I did love the opening shot of Pike beaming in and interrupting what appeared to be a very heated argument between two sides of a world. We see her making some nice little quips. We see some awesome flying by Ortegas. And some like snappy dialogue from her. She by far right now is my favorite.
Well, like we said last week, she's very spunky.
Yeah, she's very spunky. Like that went well.
We see Spock kissing someone.
Yeah, so I mean, most likely that's T'Pring, right? So, his betrothed from the original series.
God, I don't even know. Again, not a big TOS buff.
Right. No, it's he was engaged to T'Pring, and so you should that's definitely an episode you should put into your queue.
Was that the Amok Time episode?
The what?
Amok Time? I can't even say it properly.
Oh, Amok Time.
Amok Time. Oh goodness.
Amok Time. Yes.
Amok Time. Amok Time.
I think it is Amok Time. Yeah, you should definitely watch that because it'll at least you'll see because they're doing the same sort of thing. The thing, the battle. I don't know what it's called. I don't either.
It has like a sickle
it's not a batleth, which is what I want to call it, but it's not.
No. It has a half moon sickle, and then
it's
like a ball or something. What's it called?
Yeah, I have no idea.
All right.
But it's so you should definitely watch Amok Time just to see like where they're coming from, because obviously that's right. It's 7 years, I think, in between each Ponfar.
Correct. 7 years. That I know.
So we sort of know like the time frame now. So this is at least 7 years before the original series.
That it's 5 years before.
Okay. All right. That
which would still line up. I don't know when Amok Time happened. Like, was it season 2 or something?
Yeah, I think so. Season maybe.
That would line up.
I'll go back and look. But so there's that. So there's some Spock action. Pike's in bed with some hottie. I don't know who she is.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't slow it down enough. I've been meaning to watch the trailer at like 0.25.
It was a very fast shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. I mean, what else did we see? Well, we see a lot of aliens.
Yeah, it's a lot of aliens.
Yeah.
Space battles. There's something.
Well, that space battle is with the alien that Pike is talking to on the bridge and says, "Let's talk about this. Let's get to know each other. Whatever. Let's find common ground." And then they start shooting at him, and that's that ship that's shooting, and the Enterprise is twirling and twisting and taking a few hits. But I mean, Ortegas is a good pilot there, avoiding most of those shots. So I'll give her that.
And it looks like there's another shot where it looks like they were boarded. So there's like some there's something. Yeah, someone they get boarded. That'll be interesting. So yeah, I'm really psyched for this. Like the most psyched I've been since probably Picard was announced. Yeah, it looks good. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
It looks very epic in the sense of what I really like is that we get the sense that there are the world building. It gives it more breadth,
Yeah,
because we're visiting more worlds and seeing more aliens, and I like that. I like that it's not so one big mystery box for the season that you have to unpack.
Yes. Yeah, no, it's like each week it's a new episode.
You can try something different, each episode.
Yeah. So I am I can't believe it's a month away from tomorrow.
It is, yeah, soon.
So, what is that? Is that 5 weeks or 4 weeks?
It's like 4 weeks, 4.5 weeks. So,
all right,
it's very soon.
Yeah,
very exciting.
Cool. Yes. So hopefully we'll have a lot to share about our Chicago experience next week.
Yes. Very excited. Well,
Yeah.
I'm moderately excited. Very excited that's strong. So
You're very excited about Strange New Worlds. You're moderately excited about Chicago.
correct. That's correct.
There you go.
Correct
There you
assessment.
go.
Thank you. Thank you
All
for
right.
bringing it down.
You're welcome.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So anything else about Chicago or Strange New Worlds?
No, we need to pack, so we need to move on.
How long does it take you to pack? It takes me like 20 minutes to pack.
Oh man, I know it's not a 20-minute thing for me.
I mean, we're there for like basically 3 days.
Yes, basically 3 days. Well, four.
I
Thursday.
mean, we're there just Friday, Saturday, full days, and then Thursday half a day and Sunday half a day. That's it. It's quick.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yes, I need options. I like options for clothes.
Okay. All right.
I also stress about packing every time, even.
Do you create like
yes.
do you write down like a checklist or anything?
This came up in another podcast I was talking to about. I have been meaning to write myself a checklist
because it's probably the same checklist every time.
Yes, it is. Exactly. Yes, I need to make myself a checklist that I've got everything. I'm good to go, and just
it shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, it's just one of those things.
All right.
Making another checklist is not on my to-do list. So, but yes, ideally I would like to do that.
Okay. Well, Godspeed. All right. So why don't we get into this week's Picard episode 5? Yes, episode 5.
Episode 5.
Halfway there.
Yeah. Yep.
Fly me to the moon.
Dr. Soong, I presume.
Hacking into my network was a cute little trick. So was teasing me with data that was mysteriously specific to the exact problem I'm trying to solve.
Oh, well, thank you. I worked hard on that.
Do you have any idea how many crackpots contact me about my work? I get everything from basement-dwelling Nazis to rich heiresses who want me to clone their fucking cats. Let me be clear. That's not what I do, so don't waste my time.
Oh, I wouldn't think of it. Seems that I have taken time for granted of late, and now she's threatening to abandon me.
See? Right there. Crackpot talk. I'll be leaving now.
Dr. Soong, in 17 seconds, you're going to take a seat. How do I know? You drove an hour to meet a total stranger, not for mystery or intellectual curiosity, but because you're a father and you're desperate. There, 17 seconds, right on the tick.
If you know that much about me, you know I'll kill you if I think you're a threat.
Yes, and that's what I like about you.
Who the hell are you?
I am the evolution of stardust. I'm the gentle flutter of a butterfly. I am death, destroyer of worlds.
All right. Well, Mike, I feel I went first last time, so why don't you go first this time? What'd you think of this episode?
Well, I actually really like this episode I think it was very well written. And I'll be even more specific. I think the dialogue between characters was really well written in this episode. Cindy Appel wrote this episode.
I know what it is.
I don't know either. I just am giving her
all right, you said
writing.
that as if I know who Cindy is, and I don't. She's a
oh no, I don't know. I'm telling the listeners. I'm not telling. Well, I'm informing you. Cindy Appel wrote this episode, and I think she did a really great job.
Has she done anything else?
I haven't taken the time to.
All right, if you're gonna name drop someone, then I would have expected more information. I'm just saying, like, oh, by the way, Cindy wrote this episode. I'm like, who the fuck is Cindy? All right, well, there we go.
Well,
that's what happens when you get put on the spot.
Yeah, you're right. I am unprepared for
Q&A.
She's a writer.
Apparently.
She's a writer
All right.
on Picard. That's all I got right now.
Okay, all right.
I have not figured out. I've not figured out how to make IMDb break down things for me in a better format.
All right. Why don't you
anyway
give us more of your thoughts?
Sure. So I think the dialogue is really crisp in this episode, especially between the dialogue between sets of characters, like one-on-one dialogue. So I really love I love Talon and Picard's conversation. I really love Adam Sung and Q's conversation in the diner or restaurant or wherever he met him. I think that was ripe with tons of great quotes, which, you know, one we hear that something's up with Q,
which we know,
because he says, seems like I've taken time for granted of late, and now she's threatening to abandon me.
Right.
So there's that comment, and then he describes himself as like something of stardust, but then
he's very dramatic. Yes,
he is very dramatic. I actually love
very
it.
Theatrical Q fashion.
Yes, he says he's the destroyer of death, destroyer of worlds, the gentle flutter of a butterfly. So there we have the butterfly once again. So that's a theme that keeps on coming up, these butterflies. And so there's that. I love the dialogue between Seven and Raffi when they say, you know, I've got your back. You know, there's just some really good, there's dialogue where where Raffi is still kind of hyped up, and Seven calls her on it and it's like, she says, you're being too cautious, and Seven says, no, you're being too uncaught. I forget how she put it, but
right, yeah, something along those lines.
Yeah, she calls her out for her lack of caution and recklessness. Yes, basically,
it was something like it was more recklessness.
Yeah, and so I just really like that, and that whole conversation, and it ended after Raffi sees Elnor. So you know Raffi's dealing with a lot of grief with the loss of Elnor, which was nice to see Evan Evagora back for a short cameo.
1 second.
But the way that was, Jonathan Frakes did an awesome job in directing how that happened. Like, you see Elnor coming off the bus, so you sort of see it from Raffi's perspective, and then you jump to an outside of Raffi's perspective, and she reaches for him and calls him Elnor, and he turns around and it's not Elnor,
right?
Obviously, but so I thought that was really really well done. But then after that, I really like that Seven says, I got your back, you got mine. I think that I'm really liking the vibe between Raffi and Seven this season. It's almost opposite, where Seven's usually been the reckless and violent one, and Raffi's probably been a little more level-headed. So the fact that they've switched is really cool. So I liked that. Yeah, I mean, we get to.
Are you perusing notes?
Yeah, I have notes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, it's really obvious you're looking through something.
Yeah. I love again, this is a TOS thing. I love the vault door in Talon's apartment. Was
that from the original operation? Was it Assignment Earth episode?
Yes, that is from Assignment Earth. So it's really cool because it is actually, I thought that the effect at the end of the last episode, where she kind of sort of grabs him and then they disappear in the smoke, I didn't put it back together, thinking that every time Gary Seven went somewhere, they didn't have that kind of special effect. But when he came back and the door opened, there was all this smoke coming out of the vault.
Oh, okay.
So I thought that was really, you kind of see it when they come back into Talon's apartment. I love Orla Brady. I think she does an amazing job in this, and what, I picked up on it being Q's voice right away, like that.
Oh yeah, that was so
Sigmund
obvious. whatever.
Sigmund Freud-ish voice
This
was
like bad
just
Austrian accent.
yeah, really bad.
Overdramatic.
So
Like, yeah.
yeah. And then the big thing that I think, I love that the crew is back together. Side quest over, right? Everyone's back together, but then they come back and Girardi's killed the Borg Queen or supposedly killed her. And then, towards the end, we see that the Borg Queen has actually infected her. And that creepy little scene at the end, by the way, I think they did an awesome job of, Girardi in a red dress, which, obviously stands out from what everyone else except Renee Picard is wearing. She's wearing a white dress. And then Girardi comes in with a red dress and talking to herself, and they pick up on that right away. But then she's cuffed, and I'm like, how the heck is she gonna get out of being double cuffed to the chair?
I figured that she was caught on purpose. Before it was revealed, I was like, yeah, she's there because she needs to be.
Yeah. So, but when I saw her cuffed, before you see the Borg Queen, like with her arm around her, kind of, I'm like, how is she gonna get out of two?
They have technology. She can. I don't know.
Maybe. But you know what I think? Being infected by the Borg Queen, I'm afraid that we're gonna see those tubules that that all the Borg have in their arms.
I mean, she made it because she was also talking to the crew, and she was like, "Yeah, she was something like I'm in place." So it was obvious.
Yeah. I think she's in the right place, but I'm like, how is she gonna get out of these cuffs?
I don't think that we're gonna get Borg nanites just yet from her.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think that's a possibility. So yeah, I thought it was a fast moving, action packed episode. I loved seeing Leah Thompson in a cameo as Dr. Werner on that committee that helped. Or that basically
was Leah Thompson?
Yeah, she was. She's the director.
Right,
but she's from Back to the Future, right? I
never saw Back to the Future.
All right, stop the podcast right now.
Back to the Future.
Oh my word!
Yeah.
Wow. Mind blown right now.
There's a lot of stuff I've never seen. I've never seen Back to the Future. I've never seen any Indiana Jones movies. Like,
oh my word, you're killing me. These are like perennial sci-fi classics.
I understand.
And fantasy classics.
I understand.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you see Leah Thompson with a cameo / guest star as part of this committee that rejects Adam Sung. I thought Brent Spiner was fantastic in this episode.
Fantastic. He was fine.
Yeah. I thought he just played the desperate father. It was a different a different role, like a different type of role, but you saw some of the same Sung isms, as it were. You could see like this is the earliest Sung that we're seeing, so you could kind of see, the I don't know if it's the digression or the regression of Sung from the 24th century all the way 400 years earlier to the Sung, Adam Sung that he plays now. So I thought
his character in terms of the protected father figure kind of reminded me a little bit of Eric Sung from Enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
That whole arc, it reminded me a little bit because he was also kind of like this. I mean, first of all, they're both geneticists, and I was like, didn't we already do this? And he did remind me a little bit of that character in terms of the questionable ethics, the questionable scientific ethics, and the extent to which he would go to protect his quote unquote children. So,
and it's interesting. He's sort of those are his his children in Enterprise, right? But it's interesting because what was I going to say here?
Well, we also need to find out a little bit about. We know very little about what's her name, Corey. Is that her? You say her name?
Corey, yeah, Corey, yeah.
And whether or not she has a biological mother. I feel like that's a little bit kind of up in there. Is she also is she a test tube baby? Like,
agree,
why is she basically like unable to function in like the world?
Yep.
So there's a little bit of unknown there, but I feel that this is this has nothing to do with Picard, and this is totally a tangent, but obviously, theoretically in this world, maybe not. The eugenics wars were not that long ago, though not really, because when we go back to 1996 in Future's End in Voyager, obviously LA is fine, so there's no like eugenics wars. But then we're getting a Noonien Singh relative in Strange New Worlds very shortly. So I wonder how they're going to reconcile that, right? Like, in terms of, hello, eugenics wars, Khan, 1990s, hello. And then you have I don't know, like a Noonien Singh, like serving on the Enterprise. So,
right. Yeah.
I feel they kind of muddied up the timeline a little bit. But theoretically, in terms of just eugenics, and the restrictions are in place around that would be in place because of the eugenics wars in the 90s. There isn't, what's a tie in here, especially if Sung is kind of playing mad scientist, right? So just something that I was reminded of. And I was like, I wonder how they're going to resolve that or even touch on it at all in Strange New Worlds.
Yeah. No, that's a good question. Actually, that's the character I'm kind of most skeptical about in Strange New Worlds is Nan. Sure. Or Nan, yes. Or whatever.
I don't know how he's saying it. But
so I've been talking for way too long now. What are some of your thoughts on this episode? Did you
I like this episode. Overall, I liked it more than the last episode because I had a lot of notes about the last episode. I felt like I wasn't being preached on this episode, so I appreciate that. I'm glad that the 7 Rafi Rios side quests is wrapped up, but then I'm also kind of like, to what end? And we'll see. Maybe there will be more fallout from their little, mission on the side to what you were hypothesizing last episode. But I'm also like, okay, like they're just back at the ship, and it's not. I kind of wish they had like they kind of got a clue or something from that or something or other. And by the way, the comm badge was never found. So maybe that will have repercussions too, like Rios' comm badge, right? They never recovered that.
Oh, right. Yeah, right.
So I was thinking about that. I was like, oh yeah, it's still the hospital. So, or somewhere. So I wonder if that will cause any issues. But yeah, I was like, I wish it amounted to something like at least right now, or they contributed to the mission more immediately. It'd been cool, but we really just got, I think the only takeaway, I'm glad we got a little bit of that 7 Rafi development because I thought that was good. I agree with you. I like their banter and their back and forth, and I'm glad that we got to see a little more about their relationship. But yeah, at the end of the day, I'm also kind of like, all right, I feel they kind of just wander around LA for 2.5 episodes causing chaos and knocking people unconscious, and to what end? So I don't know. I
totally forgot about the comm badge. So yeah, that's a loose
potential problem.
Yes,
I feel we're gonna see Teresa. Definitely. We might see Teresa again. I wouldn't be surprised if Teresa came back towards the end. But yeah, I'm just like, I wish they kind of ultimately contributed something to the mission, right? The grander narrative that we're trying to tell in this season. My only other takeaway was that ice is bad. So yeah, that's my only other takeaway. But yeah, so I'm glad the crew's back together. I thought that there were some funny parts to this episode. Some of the thing with the Borg Queen and the French police officer that got a little dark, but then it was also kind of like very slapstick antics towards they were dragging the police officer back to his car, and meanwhile Talon is like, oh yeah, do you trust these people or whatever? And Picard's like, yeah, they're the best or whatever. And it's just kind of like funny and slapstick.
And they're dragging a dead cop away.
Well, he's alive. He's just missing a spleen, apparently, which I feel is
right. She said they're dragging a dead cop away, and Picard was like, well, no, he's probably not dead.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel that they're, I'm glad that piece is wrapped up, that the crew is back together. I'm always up for a good heist. I love like heist movies and heist episodes or whatever. So it's like a nice diversion. And we get to see, like, I'm sure we'll go see. And what you're saying about Girardi, this is where I love like gadgets, like I'm sure there are going to be gadgets or technology in play or something like that to kind of penetrate the network and to get them close to Renee and things like that. So I like that. I think my broader question, because we are at the halfway point, right? We're 5 episodes in. I'm kind of just, I wish, and this is what I'm hoping, I hope we get a clearer picture soon as to what this grand narrative is about. Because right now, a lot of the focus is on Renee, and Renee is, Q's giving Renee doubts about going on her Europa mission. But Q's whole shtick to Picard is basically that it's his fear that has caused all these problems. So right now it's about Renee's fear and her hesitation about going to Europa. But I want to start seeing this tie into Jean-Luc and his backstory and what we're talking about, because at the end of the day, the season's about kind of a redemptive story arc for Jean-Luc Picard. So I want to start seeing that connection. I don't want to get into a situation where everything is not revealed until the very, very, very end. And I kind of want a little bit more now, like sooner rather than later, so we can kind of like explore a little bit more versus like, oh, what is a big mystery? Like, and then it's revealed like at the second half of the episode, like the latter half of episode 9, and then we don't really get much time with it. You know what I mean? So I hope I'm hoping you don't wait too long to kind of reveal the grand plan and all the lines connecting the dots, because we're getting a lot of that, and then we still need to go back to the future and see the reveal of the Borg Queen and like all that, right? So I want more now. I hope they don't like wait too long, if that makes sense. And you're yawning.
No, that totally makes sense. Thank you.
It was a long yawn. I was like, are you going to be able to respond to me in time? I was worried.
I was, and I did, and then yes, we got sidetracked by my yawn instead of by what we were talking about. You get so distracted by the little things. Like, just keep talking.
You need full attention.
Oh my gosh, a yawn is not being distracted.
Well, last week you were very distracted by Hamish, so just saying.
Oh my gosh!
Continue.
You're being who's needy now?
Continue.
My big question is about Q and what his exact motivations are. Like, what's
we need that too. We need that. We need the Borg Queen. We need Picard's background. We need him to like let love in. It's like all these things. I'm like, oh my god. Okay. I hope we don't have to wait too long for some of these things to develop. And then we probably will get a cliffhanger, as you said. But I don't want like too big cliffhanger where a lot of these like character developments are left unresolved. I'm totally fine if these things are kind of wrapped up, like Q's story and Picard's emotional journey, but then we get some sort of cliffhanger, like new narrative thrust, right, for season 3. That's fine. But I don't want like these big character mysteries to be left unresolved or untouched.
Well, we still have 5 episodes, so let's see what happens with episode 6 later this week, which we can download and watch on the plane. Or download before we leave,
or
and
if
watch on the plane.
We can watch it there.
Yes.
I mean, when we were in Vegas, we watched Lord X, if you remember.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah,
but I did like some of the setup for this episode. Talon, I read uh an interview with Orla Brady, and she just there didn't really seem to be, and we don't get it in this episode, there didn't really seem to be an explanation as to why Talon looks exactly like
Laris.
Thank you. I was like, oh my god, there are too many names. Like there really isn't an explanation. And Orla Brady's explanation was like, oh, like it's supposed to just kind of remind Picard of, Laris or whatever. But then they were like, but other people notice that they look alike. And she was like, yeah. I was like, okay, I'm not really sure there's like a rational explanation other than, but then this is the problem, so, at least the Sung dynasty, we've gotten this kind of, we've seen this before, right? Like basically every person in the Sung line looks the same. Like it's almost like a running joke. But then we get Ola Brady playing this other character who's completely unrelated, apparently, to Laris. And then we also got Issa Briones as Corey. And I was like, what? And it was like, I don't understand.
Well, that I felt like that sort of explains why Data painted Corey as his daughter. Like it's sort of almost like genetic memory that's been passed down generation to generation. So I thought that was kind of cool. That
is it? How will that work?
I mean, I think there's a lot of history and a lot of genetic information that's just passed down, and that's how I explain it. That's how Data painted Corey, who turned out to be, I forget what her name was in the original Daj. Yes, Daj and Soji. So,
but I don't even think it was really well explained why Daj and Soji, and then also the other woman on the planet, the gold skin one, all looked like the way they look, and the way that Data's painted. There's just these things, these dots that aren't really connected, and I get what you're saying, but I'm also kind of practically like, okay, how will that work? Like, because Data didn't share any like actual genetic information with his quote unquote father. He was just kind of made in his image. So it was just, I don't know. I kind of get it, kind of almost from a metaphysical standpoint, but I'm also kind of like, all right, hold up. Practically speaking, what the fuck are we talking about? I found it kind of distracting, other than, hey, Issa Briones has a contract and we're paying her so she can do something. No, she should do something. But, we have these characters that look basically like their counterparts. And I'm just like, there's no rhyme or reason for it. So I'm a little bit kind of like, what's the deal? I'm not too distracted by it, but it is distracting for me.
Okay, it didn't bother me at all. I thought it was great to see Issa back again. I like this Corey character. I like her relationship with her father. So I'm interested to see what we learn and what we find out from all of this, whether she's a, human, robot, a test tube baby, something. So I'm excited to see where that kind of comes, and also what happens if she learns that information. So there's that. Plus, I mean, whatever the ill is of that she has, Q has the cure for. So what does that mean? So again, all these little things that, I'm trying to understand the motivation of Q. I'm trying to, it really bothered me, because especially what he says to Adam Sung at the end of the episode, he talks about love, and he says, we're all hostages to what we love. The only way to truly be free is to love nothing. Right. How meaningly so, and so what I envisioned Q would say at the end of that is, that's why I love nothing. But instead he says, how meaningless would that be? Which seems very odd for Q. So I'm thinking, like, who does Q love? Like, why is he doing this? Like, and also this other idea that I've heard from some of the other podcasters on Discovering Trek is, what if we're dealing with a younger version of Q who's trying to manipulate it? So there's two Qs in this timeline right now. There's the Q from 2400, and then there's a Q who is from 2024 who's actively manipulating Renee Picard. Like, I feel like there's something going on here.
What's the foundation for that theory?
That he doesn't say that he never says that he's manipulated the timeline to Jean-Luc and in fact in episode 2 he says something to the effect of like, look at me being blamed for something that you have done.
Sure,
so,
but he said the exact same stuff in All Good Things. Like, he basically blamed Picard, but if Q didn't get involved in the first place, Picard would never have created the temporal anomaly. You know, like, he's very circular in that way. So he said the exact same things in All Good Things.
So I just wonder, but I just wonder if there's this other younger Q who's manipulating Renee Picard as her psychologist, and this older Q is the one that, you know. So I'm just, you know, well, it's an interesting idea. I don't know if this would
play into it, but Q does have a son. So we obviously see like a younger version of him in Voyager, but who knows how old that version is. And maybe, hey, that version, his Q's son grew up to look like John Delancey, who knows?
It's hard to know what's, So it's, you know, but this Q motivation is definitely like kind of really, out of this episode, this was what I was focusing on, was why is Q doing this? Like, he's playing all these different sides, and I'm not sure, like, and this was before I even heard of the potential of there being a second Q or even thought of it. And now I'm like, are there two Qs here? Are there, what's going on here? Is one trying to...
I'm interested to hear what the exact rationale is behind that hypothesis.
Listen to Discovering Trek, and you can hear. I think Sabrina brings this up. Actually, it's Sabrina's theory. Okay. So, she can, you know, listen to that, and you can. She'll explain it, I think, maybe she won't explain. I can't remember, to be honest, but it's just another idea. And but the whole idea of what's Q's motivation is really sticking with me right now. And out of everything, you know, I'm loving the Raffi 7, and I'm loving the Girardi Queen dynamic. You know, I love Orla Brady, so she's playing off Picard. So I'm just like, where is Q fitting into all of this? And
ultimately, I think we get the idea that he's going through some sort of existential crisis, right? Between all the things that he's dropping, and then what you mentioned earlier, his thing about time, kind of running out of time, him losing his abilities and power, but maybe not completely, because he can still like do shit. Though I don't know if that is due to his power or he's able to just like do things in the real world, and it just as he can hack computers. I have no idea. Or is it because he still has something, you know, he can still do shit. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think we've gotten, I think if anything, that is that's one of the big mystery boxes of the season, like what's going on with Q, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And right now that's what I'm like, even though I'm super excited about the potential Ocean's 11 type episode next week, or this, you know, in a couple of days. I'm interested to see where that kind of goes. It's I think there's gonna be some foibles and mistakes, and I think it's not going to turn out like they intended to, and
it never does. There's always
true. I think we're going to see more butterflies, more butterflies happening, and I mean, what's the potential here for messing this completely up?
But the thing is, like, it's so funny because we've gotten a lot of these time travel episodes where they quote unquote exercise caution, but Voyage Home, let's name them. Voyage Home, First Contact, Future's End, and those are three that come to mind immediately. They're like, don't mess with the timeline, and they like fucking mess with the timeline. They like get, they start talking to people, they drop shit, major pieces of information. People go missing. Julian Taylor goes missing from the 80s. What kind of repercussions would that have? You know, like 3-4 centuries down the line. Fuck that. Whales apparently also go missing. Like they invent transparent aluminum in the 80s. Let's see. Futures End. They knock people out in LA. What else do they do? I mean, not to even mention, obviously, the guy that goes back from the 25th century and like leaves all this technology behind that causes all these other repercussions. And then the future is fine. You know, they go back and it's fine. First Contact too. Like, you know, they don't mess with the timeline. And then Lily meets the board, as does Zefram Cochrane. I don't know. There's like, it's funny. It's like, you know, they pick and choose, right? Like in terms of how they want to do these time travel stories. And I think every time it's like, you know, don't leave anything behind. Be careful, but they always mess shit up.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No, seriously, people go missing from the timeline. So that's an issue. I do have to say, Girardi and the Borg Queen, when Girardi shoots the Borg Queen and we're like, the Borg Queen said, I was like, I actually had like a stronger reaction than I expected, because I thought they killed off the Borg Queen. I was like, oh my God, that was like one of my favorite things about the season. And they killed off the Borg Queen. But only, of course, we later learn that the Borg Queen's mind is, and you know, I'm kind of interested to explore this more. And this still remains for me one of the most interesting things about this season is that whole relationship, because Girardi, you know, she kind of approaches the Borg Queen, and I feel that she wants what the Borg Queen's offering. You know, like she's obviously there's a little bit of manipulation, but
there's a lot of manipulation. This is like, yeah.
But the thing is that Girardi, it's like she wants it. You know what I mean? It is something to have a kind of companionship and to kind of experience that kind of community in some ways is something that she's really hungry for because of her loneliness. And I think that it's very similar to what we were talking about in Discovery between Book and Tarka. We had a very similar discussion, right? And I was like, yeah, but Book is letting himself get manipulated because he's so angry, right? His feelings are allowing him to make these calls, but he's also operating under free will. And I think similarly, Girardi is operating under free will, but her feelings are letting her kind of get manipulated, right? But I think she also knows what she's doing. So it's kind of this like very tricky kind of.
I think it's slightly different with Girardi though, because she had the Borg Queen in her mind, and when she kills the Borg Queen, there's pain, like she's feeling pain.
Sure,
she's feeling the pain of the death. So there's that. There's also the Queen has been actively manipulating her with her words, like saying you're alone in every timeline, you're forever invisible, like just these things that are like so deep cutting. And of course, anyone would want, who might be having those feelings, might want that connection or long for that connection. I actually, this episode, and I don't want to go down this road too far, but for me, these things that she kept on saying were really dark and made me feel like she was like, and to some extent the Borg are a cult, right? They do kind of indoctrinate people into their beliefs and then, you know, control them and do whatever they want them to do. And I feel like this was like just a very disturbing example of how, you know, a cult person gets someone else to do what they want them to do because they bring up the fact that they're alone, even though they're not. You know, so Girardi may be awkward and separate, but Picard has extreme faith in her. She's part of the team. She's part of the team this season. Like she's not that, she's on the bridge of the Stargazer. Rios asked for her help. So she's not alone. But because earlier in this, in that second episode, you get, the queen is able to tell them specifically when and where the deviation happens. So, and she's so accurate about that Girardi starts believing that whatever the queen says is the truth. And
well,
so
I think that
when the queen
also
says you're alone in every timeline.
Well, I think that what you're saying is true. I think that's what oftentimes when we as humans have these ideas, right? Like they could be like insecurities or just ideas about ourselves. And they're oftentimes lies that we develop in our heads. And I think for Girardi, we see this in season 1 when Picard first meets her at the Daystrom Institute, but we get the sense that she's kind of this like lone wolf. She kind of does her, she does her own thing. She's kind of wrapped in her own world. And sure, she's been part of this crew for like, at this point, I guess like 2 years on and off, right? But that kind of experience and the kind of world that you build for yourself sticks with you for a long time. Like it doesn't, just because you have a group of people that you hang out with for a little while, and occasionally have camaraderie with, sometimes you're still kind of stuck in your head and you have these ideas about yourself, right? That those don't go away easily.
Yeah, but I think the queen takes it to an extreme level and really says like you're alone in every timeline, you're forever invisible. Like those sorts of things are just really deep cutting. And, the fact that Girardi is beginning to trust what she's saying is disturbing as well. So that's why I kind of get this cult vibe. Like the queen knows exactly how to manipulate her and is preying on those feelings and then really doubling down on them and saying these horrible things to her, which may or may not be true, but really like, it's just for the queen's end game. It's not to, she's not.
At the same time,
it.
I think it's interesting because I think that, and this reminds me a lot of First Contact, where we obviously learn who the Borg Queen is, but then we learn that the Borg Queen wanted Locutus as an equal, right? And then when she didn't get that, she wanted Data. So I think that there's something, and I think there's some through line there in terms of who the Borg Queen is, where the Borg Queen has a need as well for someone to be treated as an equal, to have companionship, and the collective is not enough. And I think that this is the same thing, where because she could have assimilated the cop and like gotten free and left, but she wanted Girardi, right? She didn't want just the cop. She didn't want to just get out. She wanted Girardi to come into the fold willingly, similar to what Picard said in First Contact. It wasn't just a matter of assimilation. Like whoever becomes a companion needs to want it as well, and needs to accept it through free will. So I think that this is exactly similar. This totally reminds me of that, where she wants Girardi as a companion, as an equal, but she needs Girardi to kind of buy in.
Yeah.
Because by the way, I think I think the Borg Queen also believes part of what she is manipulating Girardi, but she also, I think when she said in episode 3 that Girardi impressed her, I think that she wasn't lying. She actually does see something special in Girardi. But also this is a queen who has lost her collective for a long, long time. Like she was the last of her species in that timeline. And so, she's desperate, She's also desperate for this connection. Yeah. But I think for a connection, she is looking for something special because she really could have gone out. She could. Yeah. She could have left and she could have made. She didn't just want
drones. She just didn't want drones. Yeah. Right. By the way, I just want to say that Annie Wershing is now my favorite Borg Queen.
She's really good. I mean, she's obviously giving me more to work with, but she's good, right? Yeah. I told you she's a great actress.
Yeah, she is. She really is. And Alice Krige will always be the original Borg Queen, but But Annie Wershing is really taking this to another level. So
Well, I
kudos
think
to
Alice
her.
Krige did a really good job, and I don't think Susanna Thompson did as good a job with this. She made the Borg Queen have this sense of like ephemeralism, like, you know, greater than, you know, like just a three-dimensional.
She's also very
character.
seductive.
Right.
Yeah,
There was
she's
this
very
like these
seductive.
qualities about her that kind of
Yeah.
she played it so well that she like kind of transcended the role, right? Like you can tell this character transcends time and space. Like, you know, like she played it really well that way. But I think here we do get a very different Borg Queen where she is kind of more human. Like she has more material to work with, and I think we're getting this insight into desire as well. Like, you know, she wants more than just to assimilate. She wants Jurati, you know. So I think it's really interesting. I this remains like one of my favorite pieces of the season, and we'll see where it goes. And your coffee.
Well, you do not need to give a play-by-play for everything I'm doing on this episode. Oh my god! Stop! You're killing me here.
Am I?
Yes.
Cool. Well, anything else on Fly Me to the Moon? I'm trying to think if there's anything.
No, I think that's a really good breakdown.
Oh my god, this like really annoyed me. So, where sorry, my contact just fell out. It's fine. I'm fine.
Again, further commentary that the listeners don't need.
So yeah, I thought that it was, and it really actually bothered me. And I don't know if it bothers you, but it was just like so unnecessary. Adam Soom has like force fields. Does that bother you at all?
No, it was a precursor. I felt like it was a precursor to what you see in the 21st century. Those force fields above the Sung technology he developed there is the same that you see in protecting the Earth in 2400.
Oh, interesting.
So you see the continuation of the technology that he created just on a larger scale in the future
to like protect from UV rays or something like that.
Well, I mean, the climate disaster happens, and so this kind
of bothered me because I was like, force fields don't get invented until like the 22nd century on Enterprise.
I totally see that as just Sung technology that gets propagated through time through that timeline. So yeah, didn't bother me at all.
It really bothered me.
Did not bother me at all.
Bother me. I went crazy. Just
I mean,
just a side note.
So, but I think that's a good summary of Fly Me to the Moon.
Yeah. No, I mean, overall, yes, I enjoyed this episode.
Lots of questions.
Lot to sink our teeth into.
Yeah,
and,
I think
hopefully we start getting some more puzzle pieces into place and start seeing where all this is going in the next couple of episodes, so that it's not all like in episode 9 and 10. But we'll see.
Right. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah. All right.
Cool. Oh, by the way, do you still think that Jurati is the Borg Queen in 2401?
Absolutely, 100%. Yep.
Now I'm kind of like, is it too obvious?
No, it's not at this point. I think it was speculation because when you first see her, you see look up, and it's all about you think that it's his mother, but which makes no sense.
I never really thought it was his mother. That wouldn't make any sense.
No, it didn't after, but just looking up, I mean, you immediately tie that to what his mother said to him.
Right.
But but
I feel that maybe Picard tells Jurati his childhood story.
Yeah.
Like he tells his childhood story, and then Jurati tell Picard that in 2401 to let Picard know that's her. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that I'm almost kind of like, is it because right now I think this is like, yes, we know by this point it's all signs point to Jurati being the Borg Queen. Also, yeah. Then I'm like, right, but are they going to throw another curveball because it's almost like too obvious?
No, I think this time we're like right on course for that being Girardi. I think that the manipulation and just this quote I don't it's not really a love affair, but affection and desire that the queen has for Girardi, and now that she's infected her, with nanites, and this is it. So yeah, I think that. Yeah, and what's going to be interesting is where is this Terran time where they come through in this really strange, like spider-like Borg cube, and why is she the queen there, and what does that mean for the butterflies and all the things that have happened, like this other So there's so much there, but no, I'm I think it's a foregone conclusion now that Borg queen is Girardi, and I still think makes sense because she was the Girardi in that timeline was able to decipher the message so quickly and see that it was 15 different languages that were all like saying the same thing. She deciphered that so quickly.
Well, she's also a scientific genius, so
she is, yeah. But I think that the Borg Queen, being her, would have sent a message that only she could have, like, knowing, like, she knows her past on the bridge of the Stargazer. That's part of her history. So it's kind of like, I'll send myself the message and, kind of fulfill time, as, make the time circular or whatever you want.
Like the Red Angel shit in season 2.
Exactly. Yes. God. Yes. So let's not go back to that. But God. Yeah, so
I hated the Red Angel. Okay, whatever. We're past that now.
Past that now. Yes, we are past that. Way past that, thankfully.
Hashtag never forget. Anyway, all right. Well, that does it for this episode. Mike, do you want to give a shout out to our sponsor who's also going to be in Chicago?
Yeah, absolutely. If you are in Chicago, come and head on over to the Fansets table. They're going to have 3 very special Chicago, Mission Chicago pins that you can only get at the convention. And if they have any left over after the convention, then they'll be available on the website. So, head on over to the Fansets table. You won't get the discount, but if you aren't going to Chicago and you want to pick up some great pins, just a few weeks ago, they released 3 new micro crew pins: Loxana Troy, Adira in their Earth Force uniform, and Lieutenant JG Matt, the beluga whale from Lower Decks. So head on over to fansets.com. Check out all the pins they have. They have so many different genres, and you can get Harry Potter, Rick and Morty, all kinds of things. If you put more than $30 in your cart, you're going to get free shipping in the US. And if you use the code DSPride, all one word, in your cart, you're going to get 10% off your order. And we thank Fansets for being the presenting sponsor of the Trek Geeks Podcast Network and Deep Space Pride.
Thanks, Fansets. So, Mike, are you going to be getting some pins in Chicago, you think?
Absolutely, yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yes. I'm hoping that Enterprise pin is available.
What are you going to do with all these pins? Are you going to start like a new pin board? Like, what's happening?
I've not thought that far ahead yet.
Wow.
But yes. Yeah.
So
I'm excited to see.
It looks really small. Like, right
yes,
now.
I mean it is a very small pin board,
especially for the wall that's on. It's
yes, yeah. Right. I mean, nothing in here is permanent because this is our future kids' room, so it's not like it's gonna stay up there forever. So, it's just up there for display purposes. For now, but So, cool. Johnson, why don't you tell our listeners how they can get in touch with us? Let us know what they think about the Borg Queen or Q or any of the theories that they may have,
or what you're looking forward to in Chicago, or what you're looking forward to in Strange New Worlds, etc. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Deep Space Pride, and you can also email us at deepspacepride@gmail.com, and we'll see you online somewhere.
Yeah.
Cool.
Come up and say, if you see us at Chicago, come say hi.
Or keep your ass off. That's also okay. Just saying.
You can come say
say hi to
me.
Mike. Say hi to Mike.
Say hi to Mike.
I'll
say hi to me.
I'll
yes.
move on to something else.
Oh, sure you will.
So, all right. Well, I guess we'll talk to everyone next week, and we'll be reporting back from Chicago. So we'll see what kind of things we see and do there.
Yeah, excited to share all that and talk about the latest episode of Picard next week.
Cool. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. See you next week.
Bye.
Deep Space Pride is a production of Coconut Media Works. Executive producers Bill Smith and Dan Davidson. For more great Star Trek discussion, discover the other shows of the Trek Geeks Podcast Network at trekgeeks.com or find us in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app.
Coconut.